Ottolenghi, Loyal Kana at the top. Big ups, Ashton Agar. We'll see you soon, my friend. And then WA indie rock, garage rock outfit, Verge Collection with Feeling Old. So, man, GWS, 2 games, but you need me. I have to be up there. And then what eventuates from there?
2 good games.
2 real good
Were they good?
No.
No. Because there's some pretty talented players up there at the time.
It was amazing up there, but like the footy was, I always like refer back. I was a part-time working out what my life was, part-time footballer, 50% of each of them, and I got in what I got out. But like it was funny because I actually played nearly the best footy I'd ever played, but just my body let me down. Like I was like just doing carves left, right, and centre. But that's a boring. Who gives a fuck? Moving on. I did the podcast. Was starting that. I was
whilst you were still playing.
Yeah, still playing. So I started straight away, and then also every night on a Tuesday night for 2 years, minus a few, I used to go and do volunteer at Triple M and just answer the phones. So just like answering the phone, trying to get like a leg into like any media companies and stuff like that. So I just go there and hang out with Liam Flanagan and Mark Geyer, who were sort of like the Jimmy and James Brayshaw and Billy Brownless of Melbourne, but they're like the Sydney version of the league. So I'd go and do that show with them, and through that I met a guy named Tom Birmingham, who was the producer, and he is actually now the owner and the guy of Hello Sport podcast with him and Ed. Make a massive podcast in Australia, league wide. And I remember saying to him, like, mate, I want to start a podcast. He like told me the equipment to get. He's like, yeah, I've got one. It's called Hello Sport. And yeah, that was him. So I met him. He showed me how to like start it, bought the equipment, started it, did it, and yeah, that was sort of it.
Where was that one? Like out of the living room, and like who were the early days guests? What did the sort of infancy of Dyl Friends look like?
It was pretty heavy, just like teammates at that stage. Like it was, so ep one was Josh Kelly. We recorded it like 3 times because first time wasn't recorded, second time was outside, so it was like birds squawking, and then the third time we went indoor. Ep 2, I actually can't remember who Ep 2 was. Might have to check that out, maybe, if you can. And then Ep 3, I think, was Brett Delidio. It might have been Toby, might have been Ep 2. But yeah, it was just fun. Like it actually wasn't, funnily enough, to like get people to listen. It was actually more so to just show this is what I can do. I'm working at Triple M. I'm starting a podcast so that next time when I'm delisted or finished up, I can walk into a job and be like, I've actually done something. Because when I left Carlton, I had no skills or no like resume. And I wanted to have like something under my belt.
Mate, you're talking to 2 blokes who completely understand that, and we're in that infancy stage as well, where we're developing our craft and learning so much, and like almost trying to create a bit of a resume of, hey, this is what we do, a little bit of art in terms of, hey, this is the concept, this is what we're trying to champion. And I can only say that having people on and hearing their musical stories and life stories has been so much more fulfilling and so much more fun than sort of almost what it set out to be, which was to learn skills and to have a resume and to become more of a complete person, really. And it seems like Dyl Friends has followed a similar trajectory times 1,000.
Toby Green was too. There you go. Thanks, Dan. I appreciate those kind words. I think, the end result is obviously what it is, but I think the things you learn along the way, the journey is more important than the destination. I've got a million cringy quotes, but they're cringe for a reason because they've lasted the test of time, and it's actually true.
I've probably used them all on the previous eps.
I think we did. We had a quote off, I think. Yeah. Anyway, it's all there. It's all true, and I think the thing I even love about conversations and podcasting, and how often these days do you have a conversation with 1, 2, 3, 4 people without looking at your phone, or actually dedicate like an hour or 2 hours to actually look at people in the eye and have a conversation and talk. So, like this meeting today, or this podcast today, I'd know you 2, 3 better than some people I've met 50 times because you're not in the same zone as like what you are in everyday life. So I don't take that for granted.
And so when Dyl Friends and the Triple M sort of was all happening.
Yep.
Were you back in Melbourne? Had you cruised back and left Sydney behind? Like, where were you for the sort of musical context?
Yeah. So, yeah, good point. Long story short, 4-year contracts, as I said. So, 4 1-year contracts. I knew that I was getting finished up. I hurt my calf. And the last sort of 10-15 weeks of the season, I basically went to the PDM, which is a player development manager. It was Dylan Addison, who was a former player as well, and said, mate, let's set me up for ready. Like, what do I got to do for next year? So, I cut all my subscriptions, budgeted for like how much money I'd need next year, booked a truck to like come home, all this stuff, just got ready to like leave.
Was it almost a weight off your shoulders? You just knew, and you're like, I don't have to do this anymore. I get to pursue what I want to now.
It was almost like a bit of a thing going like, I know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I never wanted to retire because I really hate when players retire and you're like, no, you're not really retiring. You're actually getting delisted.
Good mate of mine and a really good cricketer I played with, Travis Burt.
Yeah.
His thing was like, only the greats retire, everyone else gives it away.
It's so true. Not many people retire, man. Like, and I think the whole thing around owning your story and that too, it's like, no offense to these guys, but you see a lot of people like retire, then they go play local. Well, did you retire then? No. So you got delisted. It's all good.
Yeah.
It happens, man. Don't stress. So I really wanted them to like delist me and actually have the conversation, and they did. And it was amazing, but it was good, like, because it was.
You were celebrating.
I was like, look, guys, I want to get delisted. Like, yeah, no, don't worry, mate, you get delisted.
Good. I already booked a truck and have been budgeting
just like,
for
hey,
12 weeks.
Just make sure it says delisted, not retired. Yeah, no, it will, mate. Don't worry. Everyone knows you didn't retire. So now I went home, went back and worked at, moved back in with my partner's parents. We lived out in their little house out the back for probably nearly 12 months, and started working at 3AW in the city, and I was earning like $22 an hour, and like 4 of my workers were like all 19. I was like 27, and you talk about death of the ego. Fuck, that was like, it was incredibly tough, but like a massive, had to go through it.
Mate, well, I'm not going to hold you back any longer. Please take us there in music, as you've done so well over the last 2 weeks of this show.
Yeah.
Here's the Orcs, Dyl Buckley.
Let's go.